guys, I'm Lauren and welcome back to my channel. If you want a weekly dose of wedding planning goodness for the modern bride, then you are in the right place. If you haven't already, then make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell and you'll be notified every week when a new video lands. I post a video every Wednesday. I will not disappoint. So this week I am talking about how you can upgrade at your wedding. If you want to know what I actually mean by upgrade, then keep watching this video. So when I say upgrade, I don't mean that whatever your wedding plans are at the minute, they're not good enough. When I'm using the word upgrade, it basically is taking the things that are the norm in a wedding, and you may have a little bit of extra budget that you want to put somewhere to differentiate your wedding, to make it more personal, to make it more bespoke, and to make something a little bit more standout and a little bit more extra with a little bit of wow. Are you with me? So I have got you 7 different areas of your wedding where you can upgrade or give that extra wow to your wedding day to make it personal to you with a little bit of extra. So without further ado, let's jump in and start with number 1, which is tableware. Possibly my favourite area to upgrade. I love tableware, I love table styling, I love creating a table design. It's possibly a passion of mine. So when it comes to your tableware, you will be offered as a standard a white tablecloth, a white plate, plain glasses and silver cutlery. You might not even be offered white tablecloths. It's usually included in the price, but if you have a venue where they use wooden trestle tables, that might be the norm to not have table linen on them. So just check that out. But that is usually the standard. Now there are areas, pretty much every area in fact, where you can upgrade your tableware. You don't have to do any of it, you can do some of it, you can do all of it. It is completely up to you. So the different areas are, let's start with the table linen. So you can upgrade your table linen from just the standard white. Another area where you can upgrade is your crockery. So your food will be served on white plates, but there are so many fantastic plates out there that you can actually choose a major variety of plates, and you can also choose to have a charger plate or not. So a charger plate is a decorative plate basically. I'm going to go into all the different types of tableware in way more detail in another video, so do not panic. But a charger plate is basically a decorative plate. You can upgrade your plates and choose from a variety of different styles. You can then upgrade your crockery. It comes standard as silver, but you can pick lots of different colours and styles. You can upgrade your glasses, your wine glass, your champagne glass, your water glass. You can choose goblets. There's lots of different options there. And then there's your napkin, which again, as standard, will come as white. You can choose another colour, another texture, and you can fold it however you want as well. So that's your tableware. There's lots of different options on the table to actually upgrade, to just add something a little bit different and set it apart. So let's move on to number 2. So my second area is lighting. Now, when you host a dinner party, have you noticed that a little bit of lighting can really create a mood? It's the same at an event or a wedding. Now, it's a given that you don't need to think about the lighting really during the day of your wedding, and a lot of the wedding is during the day. But come the evening, you can transform your venue with some incredible lighting like this. So it really can make a difference. If you're having a winter wedding, I would particularly advise considering lighting, because obviously the daylight and the day is a lot shorter. So come time to sit down and have your wedding breakfast, it's already going to be dark. So you can really create a nice atmosphere. I think this is an area that if you've got a little bit of extra budget and you're trying to make something a little bit stand out, then consider lighting. It's an area where people don't think about, don't tend to do as often, but I think they're really missing a trick. Even if it's just going for some uplighters around the room, a fairy light canopy, you can really set a mood with lighting. So that's my number 2. My number 3 is having a lounge area. Now, it's quickly becoming a hot trend to have a lounge area, a chill out area, a sofa area at your wedding, but not just sort of a sofa that's in at the venue. People are hiring in some really cool furniture and creating these awesome areas that people can go and relax in or just step outside from the main party. They're hiring rugs, they're hiring coffee tables and trunks, they're hiring puffs, really cool velvet sofas, peacock chairs, you name it. There's so many options. You can style it up. You can have a hanging macrame backdrop for your area. You can have lots of lanterns. The options are endless. There's so many hire companies out there now that will be able to help with this sort of thing, and it just really adds a touch of personalisation. So that's another area where you could sort of upgrade your experience. My fourth one is additional entertainment. So you are likely to have an evening band or DJ or performer. You are likely to have somebody playing at your drinks reception. You might not, you might just have background music, and that's fine. Then there's the wedding breakfast and the ceremony. You may have live musicians, you may be using background music. But I don't mean that. When I say additional entertainment, it doesn't have to be music. It can be music. You may decide that you want a mariachi band to play. You may want moving musicians that move through the crowds during the drinks reception, which is great fun. But you can also really think outside the box here. So some ideas that my clients have done in the past is they've had bouncy castles, a mini golf course, photo booths in the evening, photo boards, and created them themselves, you know, with the cutout hole and you pop your head through. We have had magicians, dance troupes, solo dancers. The list goes on. There are so many options. This is a really great way to leave your guests thinking, wow, that was different, creating an awesome, unforgettable experience for both you and your guests, and leaving people with that wow factor. So if it's all about the fun and the party, then maybe that is the area that you want to add and upgrade slightly. So my number 5 is late night snacks. Now I think this started coming in a few years ago, where just the traditional evening buffet kind of started getting bumped out with some really cool new ideas. So you've probably heard of the old bacon rolls and the sausage rolls. I'd say that about 5 years ago, that really started to get taken over by all the upgrades. Now, loads of different ideas, and there's nothing wrong with the evening food buffet, but there are so many cool options as well. What about pizza trucks? You can have an Asian food truck, some street food. You can have some cool bowl food going around. You can have a cheese station. You can have a grazing table. The options are endless. And the really cool thing about this is you can personalise it. So you can speak to the company and personalise your menu as you can with your main. And you can make it personal to perhaps some experiences that you've been through. I've had a client that decided to have Asian banh mi rolls because going over to Asia was their favourite holiday. I've had couples that wanted something Mexican or a nod to Mexico because that's where they got engaged. I went to a friend's wedding and they decided to have pizzas from a stone oven in the evening because they were getting married in Italy. So there are so many different options. If you are foodies, this is the one for you. So my number 6 is on the day stationery. Now, I have a little bit of a love for stationery, and this kind of ties in with the table designs for me as well. Now, I think when people think stationery, they think invites, they think RSVPs, and they forget about the on the day stationery. And this can be so cool. You can get so creative with your on the day stationery. Now, this covers place names, table plans, any signage that you want around the wedding venue, your orders of service, your menus, loads of different options. Just to give you a couple of ideas, I have had clients that have used mussel shells with calligraphy on for the place names. We've had menus printed individually onto fabric and used them as napkins, menus and favours all in one. We have created beautiful watercolour table names. We've had hanging table plans. We've had acetate table plans. There are so many options. If you find the right stationer or the right creative, they can create something so out of the box, so you, so personal, and to really fit in with your wedding and just create that extra experience for you and your guests. So if you are a stationery lover and you like creative details, this one is for you. And finally, my number 7 is dessert. Back in the day, it was traditional just to have wedding cake, but then it became 3-course meal and you'd have your dessert and then the wedding cake would be cut later. However, nowadays, you can really change that up and upgrade as such. So why not having a big sharing dessert for the table? It creates conversation, it's an experience, it's fun. And then you've probably seen them by now because they're everywhere, but they are amazing patisserie tables, patisserie bars. You have a selection of desserts all displayed in a very, very beautiful manner. Again, it's interactive because guests can get up and go and choose the desserts that they want. The display looks phenomenal. It really does create an extra experience. If you're not sure that you want to have the table, the full pudding station, then you can have pudding pots and have them served to the table and guests help themselves. That's another fun experience. You can choose to have a cheese table instead. Again, there are lots of different options. What about an ice cream bar, a pancake or waffle bar? Depending on your budget, you really can go to town. And again, if you're a foodie, then this might be for you, particularly if you have a sweet tooth. So those are my 7 tips. I obviously haven't mentioned the obvious ones like your dress, your flowers, and the actual wedding breakfast, because those are things that you will have as part of your day anyway. But I hope you found those tips helpful. They are great fun. It adds personalisation and a bit of creativity. So if you're into style, thinking outside the box, then hopefully this video was for you. Anyway guys, I will see you next week where I'm going to be talking about table design and the different elements and ideas of how to upgrade your table design. So until next week guys, have a good week. I'll see you then.